What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and I'm back with another Call of Duty gameplay where I break down personal finance topics and systems to help everyone build financial freedom faster. The new year's right around the corner, so I thought it would be a perfect time for today's topic. And today's video is about a concept that can literally change the trajectory of your life. That is, locking in your finances for just 1 year. I'm talking about taking a full, intentional 12-month period and committing to a set of financial habits that transform your net worth, your confidence, your discipline, and your future. 1 year doesn't seem like a lot of time, but it's just enough time to completely reset your financial life. So why only 1 year? I think that's because most people will quit on themselves within a week or maybe like a month, right after maybe a little setback. But in my opinion, 1 year is just long enough to see the compounding effect of discipline. It's long enough to notice your debt shrinking, your savings growing, and your spending habits changing, along with your confidence skyrocketing. A year is also short enough to actually commit to. You're not signing a lifetime contract. You're just giving yourself one focused strategic year to get your financial life under control. Think of it like training for a marathon or lifting weights at the gym. You won't see massive results in just 1 week, but if you give yourself a dedicated year, you're going to look back and barely recognize who you used to be. This isn't about being perfect. It's about just committing to progress consistently long enough for the results to be evident. Now, when I'm talking about locking in, I'm talking about setting a list of non-negotiables for the next 12 months. These are the habits that you decide on now and execute automatically. There's going to be no going back and forth when you feel tired or stressed. This right here is the call to commitment and motivation. You're going to choose what your financial mission looks like. That might mean sticking to a strict budget, eliminating specific debts you may have, investing a set amount every month, building or completing your emergency fund, or maxing out your Roth IRA or doing a 401k match for the first time. You need to set your mission goals, and this needs to become your financial priority of the year. Before you can lock in, you need to know where you stand and really do a deep audit of your current financial life. Most people avoid this part because it's uncomfortable, but this is where the transformation begins. So go ahead and try this exercise at home and write down your debt, your subscriptions, your monthly bills, your take-home income, your savings and investments, and your discretionary spending over the last month. This is just simply your starting point. You do need to see everything in front of you because it's going to help switch your brain into problem-solving mode and then put you officially in control again. Now, once you know where you stand, it's time to design your financial plan. Your 1 year money plan should be realistic and simple. Start by identifying your biggest priorities. If you're drowning in debt, the goal might be to eliminate a specific credit card or student loan or whatever debt you're in. If you're struggling with savings, your focus for the year might be building a $5,000 or $10,000 emergency fund. And if you've never invested before, maybe this is the year that you finally start funding your Roth IRA and your 401k accounts. Then you need to create a spending plan. You need to decide how much goes towards needs, wants, investments, cash savings, and then anything paying off debt. You don't need to overcomplicate it here. Just choose the simplest version of this budget that works for your lifestyle. For me, I do about 40% needs, 20% wants, and 40% investments. Now, something that I've found helpful for me is automation. Automation is a cheat code. It removes emotion from investing and saving. When your savings, investments, and bill payments are automatic, you don't have to fight with yourself every month. What this does is it shifts your brain out of, let me try to remember and manage my money manually, to more system-driven approach. When you automate the system, it becomes the guardrails for your investments and paying your bills. As long as your automation is running and you consistently invest and stay on track, you're going to get ahead of the schedule. Like I said before, automating takes the emotions out of investing, and that is such a key part of staying consistent. And locking in for a year means cutting the distractions that keep you stuck financially. You need to cut out that financial noise in your life. That might be saying no to lifestyle creep. Say you get a raise or a bonus next year, don't let that inflate your lifestyle. Use it to accelerate your financial goals. If you lock in for a year and stay disciplined, even when you feel like you might deserve rewards, the real reward that you're doing by locking in financially for the next year is the freedom you're building later. An important part of this financial lock-in journey is tracking your progress. I track my progress on a monthly basis, and I think it's so important. You need to be able to stay on top and know exactly how much debt you have, how much savings you have, investments, and your spending habits. There's a psychological part with this. When you see your emergency fund growing or your debt shrinking and your investments climbing because you're tracking your progress on a month-to-month basis, you're going to get addicted to that grind. The numbers are going to start working in your favor, and every small win on this is going to feel huge. Over time, you're going to build financial momentum that's almost impossible to stop. So what could the potential 12 months of locking in financially look like for you? Most people underestimate how much can just change in a year of consistency. After 12 months of focusing on your finances, you might see an increase of your savings account. You could eliminate major debt. You could build your first investment portfolio. And some of the more important things, you could reduce your money stress dramatically, and you could finally feel in control of your financial direction. But some of the biggest change, it really isn't the numbers, it's the identity shift. You start to see yourself as someone who manages your money well, someone who's disciplined, someone who can set goals and crush them. And once you prove to yourself that you could lock in for a year, you're going to realize you could do anything financially, and a year was just the beginning for you. So here's the honest truth. One focused year can change everything. Not 10 years, not 5, just one to start. 1 year where you choose discipline over impulse. You're going to choose progress over comfort. If you commit to this, your entire financial future might look different because this is going to set the foundation for how you approach money. You're going to be much calmer and way more in control of your finances. And that's pretty much it. That's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed this breakdown and you're ready to start your financial lock-in for 1 year with me, hit that button and subscribe. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, you have an amazing attention span. And I'm going to be putting 2 of these videos up every week. So if you have any personal finance topics you want to cover, leave a comment down below. I'll see you in the next one.